Hey, welcome to the Loop Community Podcast, where we're passionate about providing you with quality and affordable resources to enhance your worship sound, but most of all, help you sound like you. I'm here with my co-host, Derek.
Hey, Matt.
Derek, let's take a trip down memory lane. Let's think
right.
back to what was church like for you when you were 10 years old versus what it's like for you now in your mid-20s.
Yeah. Church for me when I was 10 was something I had to do, first of all. We always went to church. Sometimes I would hope we would oversleep the alarm, but no.
Did you guys have to dress up?
Not dress up. We had to look better than normal, but not like really dressy. It wasn't a dressy church, but it was Sunday best, but not formal.
Yeah.
But we always went, and I always enjoyed it. I liked it. I believed it, which was great. And I really enjoyed the music a lot. I loved singing. I loved watching them. My church had a full band, so I loved watching them lead worship and everything. And then I would kind of zone out during the message.
Yeah.
And then we'd sing one more song, and then we'd go out to lunch.
Playing games on the bulletin during the message?
Yep, drawing on the bulletin for sure. I would always read the entire bulletin to try to pass the time.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that was kind of it at 10 years old. And now, being 24, just moving into adulthood when church no longer was a requirement, it was up to me if I wanted to go.
Right.
But that actually, I think, made it better. Like, I got to decide that I want to go and I want to be there. And now church has become so much more of me going to connect with God and going to just further my relationship with Him. And I don't just care about the music. I listen to the sermons. I love the sermons a lot more.
You're there for the meet and greet.
Right. Right, the meet and greet, yeah.
But it's all of it, right?
It's all of it. It's great. Yeah. And it's start to finish. And church is so important, and it's something I look forward to, and it's something I get a lot out of, and helps me grow a lot.
And you serve now, too.
Yeah, serving now. I don't just go and show up. Serve in the church, and that's awesome. What was it like for you when you were?
I think I have a very similar experience.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I grew up in a church my whole life. I was a pastor. But I do think that when I think back to when I was, a teenager, 10 years old, music was everything.
Yeah.
Like, as a musician too, like the only part of the service that I really cared about was the music, like the worship part of it. And I do find that as I've gotten older, I've always wanted authenticity, even in the worship.
Right.
But now there's a kind of broader authenticity and a deepening that I'm wanting. And I'm finding that, like, the messages are way more important to me now than the music is even.
Yeah. And
what does the Bible actually say about worship? And even like all the spiritual practices of like communion and prayer and, going deeper in those areas, I think for me are becoming more and more important.
Yeah. It's all worship.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, when you think back to even like, I think an interesting thing is that like, is there, we both like messages now, the sermons.
Right.
And we think back to when you were 10 years old. Can you think of one sermon? Can you remember one sermon from when you were 10?
I don't think so. I don't think I can.
But I bet you could remember a song.
Yes. There are songs I remember that I was singing at 10 years old and younger.
Right.
You remember songs you learned in Sunday school at like 4 years old.
Totally.
So that is interesting.
I know. I remember like, Lord, I Lift Your Name on High.
Yes.
Or, History Maker was a big one in our youth group when I was like 14.
Yeah.
Did You Feel the Mountains Tremble?
Yep.
So yeah, it is interesting because like, even like 2 years ago, I don't even know if I remember a sermon from 2 years ago.
I remember ideas of sermons
and
kind of like what the topics were on.
Right.
But I can't tell you everything that was taught and what I learned from it. So
music does kind of have a special way of planting truth inside of, our hearts. And I remember even my dad used to always put scripture to songs to help memorize scripture, because it's just an easy way to memorize things. And I think that's what's actually cool about this interview that I've got with Aaron. Aaron has taken scripture, he's taking prayer, liturgy, and combining it with music and making this whole experience that I think is a really great way to kind of root these truths and this authenticity down deep in our souls. And so I think it's kind of cool that he's kind of combined all that together. And I loved my interview with Aaron. I could have kept talking to him for a couple hours.
For sure.
But I'm excited for everybody to hear it. here's my interview with Aaron Nyquist.